Tell us a little bit more about the other kinds of things you do. You're an educator.
I teach.
You own an awesome studio,
I
but
do.
you also do something else that usually happens in August. What's that all about?
Well, I run this little thing called the Potluck Audio Conference, which is in Tucson every August, the first weekend, from now until I get sick of it. You can put it on your calendar. It's going to happen.
Excellent.
We actually...
If I was a student, how would I find out about that? How would I be able to sign up perhaps for it? And give me an idea what that might cost me.
Well, right now I'm getting the student registration up, but it's probably going to be around $15 for the whole weekend. That's about what I do.
Wow.
It's 2 days, intensive days of workshops, hands-on training, Casita Suite demos you guys are doing where you're setting up your equipment and you can really get in there and actually twist and poke and pull, not just look at it. We are peeling back the layers of everything from how internships work, education, converters, 24-bit, 32-bit, whatever, 64-bit, transformer, no transformer, tape, no tape, summing, no summing, whatever. Everyone brings something to the table. That's why it's called the Potluck Audio Conference.
That's really exciting. Now, what's the website for that?
www.potluckconference.com. Registration's now open. There's going to be more information coming soon because I'm leaving AES with a whole host of ideas. I'll have a schedule up very soon. We're expanding this year to include live sound. I've got interest in doing film and post. I'm really trying to present a well-rounded curriculum and a program for everybody who's involved in audio engineering. It's not studio-centric. It's anybody who's picking up a microphone, trying to get signal into a computer or a tape machine, and dealing with the outside world and trying to actually complete a product and get it into the market and say, I did this.
Wow, this really sounds like an amazing thing. This sounds like the thing to do this summer.
Well, we hope so. It's a lot of fun. We hang out, everyone gets together, we do some parties, there's a lot of free-flowing talk. The best part about it is that you can meet somebody you've always wanted to meet and they'll just hang out with you. So like last year, Vance Powell's just in the bar. You want to talk to Vance Powell, he's just hanging out.
It's one of our favorite things about that whole thing is that there's no barriers. Everybody gets a chance to interact. Everybody gets a chance to learn.
Right.
We as professionals learn, students learn, you even learn a little bit.
Well, I don't discount the fact that all of you who make products, you guys are engineers. It's like this didn't come out of a vacuum. I mean, it's your minds that think about why we need these things coupled with what can we make that'll work, and it's then you hopefully make a product that all of us who own studios are like, that's filled this niche, I need this. So we're working hand in hand together by identifying the things that we need and seeing the responsible manufacturers actually coming up with products that actually service us for the right price point and aren't based on just hype and just, that box with pretty lights. It's more about really useful tools, and I'm a big fan of everything Rupert Neve Designs does as well as SE Electronics, and I have to tell you, I was 100% skeptical of the SE mics because I just thought, oh, it's SE, whatever, right? Another made in China, whatever. And it was you a little bit who was like, no, you got to check these out, but it wasn't you so much as a friend of mine who was a bass player who used them at another studio in town that was an SE dealer who told me, he's like, you got to hear these Voodoo ribbons. They're crazy. And he said, and even the guy, Jim Pavette, who owns a studio in Tucson, who never thought a ribbon was any good for anything, is using them. I said, wow, Jim is using them? And that's why I got some. And I realized he was right. So I was turned on to him by a musician first, not an engineer.
Wow, that's a great story. Yeah. Last thing I want to ask you about, I know you got to go, it's a busy day for you. You recently decided to do some changes in your monitors. Now, having been in WaveLab, which is an amazing room with an amazing toys, one of the things that's most interesting about it is you have a lot of monitoring choices. What prompted you to want to add a new one?
Well, my front room is all passive, and I have a passive switcher, so I have multiple monitors I can switch back and forth to. I'm a big believer in, owning a pair that you feel comfortable with and then checking your work on as many pairs as possible. It's kind of something I've been doing forever. The back room, I don't have that luxury because it's going to be powered monitors. So it's a little expensive for me to get into a powered switcher. I'm not quite ready to do that. It was part of the centerpiece attraction, was being able to have at least a 2-speaker switch plus a subwoofer. Very important to me to be able to put a subwoofer in and out. The centerpiece enables me to latch that subwoofer on with the aux, with a 3 button, as well as I can jump back and forth. I have a pair of KRK 10s, funny, silly speakers, and then the eggs. And the reason I got the eggs was I heard them at Potluck last year. I thought, these sound interesting. I really want to check these out. And I was lucky enough to, again, get a pair while I was in Sweden, and they saved my butt. They were flat the way I needed it to be. They didn't lie to me. The bass was present enough. I really like the fact that they have their own amplifier the nice speak-on connectors. I like the fact that there was the EQ control to tweak it up a little bit. The blue light positioning thing is just brilliant. They're brilliant. We have a pair at Scottsdale Community College now, and I did a demonstration with the students last week about how to position the speakers. And first time I've ever saw all my students have an aha moment about why critical listening point matters.
Wow.
Because I made them sit in the middle. I actually would steer the speakers for each one of them till they said, yeah, that's really bright in my eyes. And now, how does that sound? And that's the first time I saw all my students realize they can't just take a pair of bookshelf speakers, sit them on the side of their monitor, and say, I'm listening to stereo.
That's wonderful. I remember when you first heard them in Sweden, because you actually called me up and said, kind of incredulously, hey, these things sound really good.
Well, they're funny. They look like eggs. I'm sorry. What are you supposed to do? I mean, it's not a square box. It's like I had to think outside the box.
What do you think about the low end on those monitors?
Awesome, flat, smooth, reliable.
How far down does it feel like it goes? Does it go down far enough that you can work without a subwoofer?
Absolutely. The sub I just plug in to just see if I really am rumbling something weird that shouldn't be in there. I mean, I don't need the sub to feel like the sub is actually the idiot check, because someone's going to use a sub too loud. That's what I use it for. I don't actually think I need it, but it's more like, oh, I know someone's going to have a sub in their car, a sub at home, it's going to be wrong. What's really going on down there? So the sub is really just a confidence checker for me, but I only mix with it as needed, but it's mostly off. I much rather mix on a pair of, two-way speakers like those. I'm not interested in three-way. I'm not interested in gadgetry. I just want to know, look, there's a tweeter, there's a woofer. This is what I'm used to. This is the stereo sound I knew as a child. I understand it. My ears like it.
I'm getting a sign from Tristan that we're running out of battery. We've had too much fun here, but I want to thank once again Craig Schumacher, WaveLab Studios, Potluck Audio Conference, and noted audio educator here from the floor of the AES Convention 2013.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jonathan.